It sound right, boy.
Giants baseball, nothing like it.
Here's a long drive to right. It's headed for the bay.
On KNBR and KNBR FM, San Francisco. Here are your hosts, F.P. Santangelo and J.T. Snow.
F.P. Santangelo, J.T. Snow here from the bunker. Giants win 5-2. They go to 15-8. Why do I have an echo? I got to turn this down. I got to turn this up. There we go. It's a S show in the bunker already. The Giants go to 15-8. What a game. I mean, the crowd for a Monday night, 31,000, all chanting Jung-Hoo Lee. The way this team is playing, they're coming back from a tough loss yesterday. It's a great thing about baseball. You got it every single day, and you leave that one in Anaheim. You get back to San Francisco. You're in your own bed. You put on the white uniforms, the cream uniforms. You come out in front of your home crowd, and it's just an electric atmosphere tonight. The Jung-Hoo Lee chants. I think we're seeing a superstar in the making right in front of our eyes. Hayden Birdsong tonight. But I just want to say real quick before I get to you, JT, that this team, there's just something about this team that I'm all in on. And whether it's Buster Posey, Zach Manassian, in everything that's going on with Bob Melvin, the coaching staff, this team is really likable. It's a fun team to watch. It's the first time since I've been back out west where you can really wrap your arms around these players and go buy a Jung-Hoo Lee jersey, buy a Matt Chapman jersey, buy a Willie Adames jersey, Yaz jersey. He had a great game again tonight. There's just something about this club that it just seems like we're all really even more so invested that we have been in years, that this is just a bunch that this region can really fall in love with. And they're falling in love with a lot of players really soon because it's just a likable bunch.
It is, and I think it built up in spring training with, it started when Buster took over, and then, but yeah, FP, like when you play, I think that the thing is, it's like the guys are in the lineup every night, and the fans come out, they know they're going to see Matt Chapman and Adames and Jung-Hoo, and you might have to plug a guy in at first base or whatever, and you're going to see Yastrzemski, and fans know like a right-handed lineup, or a right-handed pitcher, left-handed pitcher. We know who we're going to see, and they get to fall in love with you. And it's the thing in baseball. If you can get 4, maybe 5 guys hot in the lineup, you got a chance. And some guys are covering for other guys, but it's just the way it's rolling, and and you see the guys in the dugout. We saw some plays tonight we'll get into. Didn't go the Giants' way, but they're in the dugout talking about it, and they're just passing the torch. And the next guys comes through, and I don't know, Jung-Hoo Lee, I saw him in spring training. The second day I was down there, a bunch of the brass, some top people asked me, who's your favorite player? I'm like, Jung-Hoo Lee is the guy that can play. Like, he's a baseball player. And I think the Giants have baseball players, and they're playing the game. And there's some guys that aren't hitting, some guys that are getting hot, but it's just, it's the beauty of baseball. It's every day. After that game yesterday, I mean, that was demoralizing. You got to get on a flight, come back home, and you're on the road for 10 days, and you come home, and guys have wives and kids and girlfriend. Hey, honey, good to see you. And they're like, they're not in the mood, right? Because they just lost, but they show up today, and you're back in San Francisco, and the crowd shows up, and yeah, it's a good vibe. It's a good place to be down here, downtown, or on the ballpark.
How bad does your suitcase stink after a 10-day road trip and then you come home? I used to leave mine at the ballpark for like 2 or 3 days and not even get it and forget that my suitcase was in the clubhouse, and then you got to wash all your clothes. But it's so nice that these guys are home, and we got to take a break here. 5-2 win. 808 KNBR is the number. We just wanted to set the show real quick. Give us a call if you're driving home from the game. JT Snow, FB Santangelo in the bunker. We'll take your calls next on the Sports Leader.
This is your hub to have your voice heard. Sports Phone KNBR. Streaming live on YouTube at KNBR 1045.
FP and JT in the bunker. Giants win 5-2. They go to 15-8 on the year. Just a fun atmosphere. 31,000 on a Monday night at the ballpark. Giants fans are excited about this ball club. We're excited about this ball club. It's a fun team to watch. JT, I'm going to go with my takeaways from the game. Then you can go with yours. And then you got a good story about Tim Lincecum that we're going to share with everybody. We're talking about the break. I'm like, dude, this has got to be on the air.
Getting in late night.
My two favorite things. Well, Wilmer's home run. And Wilmer hits meaningful home runs. His 7th of the year. He's got 24 RBIs. His average is at 220, whatever. Birdsong is a stud. He's going to be a number one starter someday. I don't know when that day is, but he's got number one stuff. He's embracing the bullpen role because he's a team guy. He wants to be a part of this. That's my number one takeaway. My number two takeaway from tonight is I've been saying since spring training on the air, on KNBR, that if Tyler Fitzgerald can put the ball in play, he can hit 300 in his sleep. Yep. And what did he do tonight? He shortened up, and he hit a couple of weak ground balls to third.
Beat him out.
2 for 3.
Yeah.
With 2 strikes. So short. He's been working on the high tee. You know all about high tee. The high tee is going to show if your swing's long, you get on top of the baseball. He shortened up his swing. He had the big series in Philadelphia. And tonight was 2 for 3 with a run scored. But he got the rally started. He scored the big run. I think late in the game. I didn't keep score tonight. I probably should have. I was talking to Glenn Kuiper the whole game. But just to put the ball in play with 2 strikes. So there's all kinds of fun things to talk about tonight, where the Yaz getting on base 3 times and Jung-Hoo Lee's triple and the place going nuts and how everyone's chanting Jung-Hoo Lee. Lamont Wade Jr. got a hit tonight. He's off the bingo. He's hitting a 103, and we're all rooting for Lamont Wade Jr. But my biggest takeaway tonight is Tyler Fitzgerald putting the ball in play with 2 strikes.
I agree, and I said it a couple weeks ago. And I said this in spring training. We talked about the team, and I said, as a team, you got to be strong up the middle. Catcher, short, second, center field. Center field is obviously an A+. Like, we don't have to worry about that guy.
Dude, before you keep going, I don't want to interrupt. Somebody coached Jung-Hoo Lee somewhere.
Yeah.
Like the base running skills, the hitting the cutoff, like the fundamentals of baseball, besides getting barreled the ball no matter what.
Yeah.
Like somebody coached him up somewhere. He
so
knows how to play.
Is that stuff like you're born with or you learn? I think it's a little bit of both.
Right?
Like, yeah, it's a little bit of both. But he just understands the game. He's just a good baseball player. But I said, and you can look it up, go back a few weeks ago. I said Tyler Fitzgerald is a wild card for this team. If he can do it at second base, and he's a great kid, and he's likable, and he always has a smile on his face, and he's always positive, and he's fast, and he's a great athlete, and he's got a great body. But we saw tonight, like, just put the ball in play, and like,
good things
just
happen.
run. The good things happen. You put the ball in play, and this team is just holding. We talked about it off the air. They're just holding the line. Like in baseball, you're not going to have 9 guys. Now there's the DH, the pitch not hitting. You have 9 guys in the lineup. You got 4 or 5 guys playing well. You can hold the line. You can plug holes, waiting for some guys to take off, and give Willie some time. And Ramos is going to come around, and Lamont's going to come around. Just plug the holes, hold the time, just hold it, and then. But it all goes back to pitching, and then Birdsong. This kid's a stud. 3 innings, 1 hit, 4 strikeouts. And the thing that impressed me was the 1 inning after the call, whatever, he smiled. And then he's walking off the mound and he just like hawked a loogie, like spit. And I'm like, that's a ball player. He just spit on the ground. I'm like, that guy gets it. Like he's a ball player.
Wait, explain that. Well, why is spitting on the ground make him a ball player?
Because he's just like,
is he spitting at the other team?
No, he's just like, that's confidence. Like when you can just like empty it out, spit. Like it's not rockets. I knew it was, he's a ball, and he'll be in the rotation maybe at some point. Whatever, just keep him going. But that says a lot. Like walking off the mound, just hawking a loogie on the grass. Like I go, that guy's got it. He's got it.
I should have hawked more loogies. I'd have been a better player. And Camilo Duvall, I can't forget that. He came in an uneventful save, and his tempo's a lot better. I don't even look at the pitch clock anymore when he's out there. He's pitching with like 5 or 6 seconds left on the pitch clock.
Stay with him. Keep him in positive situations. Keep him going. And it's how this game is. It's about confidence. He's starting to get it. He's coming around. So yeah, it was a good baseball game. There's a lot of weird stuff that happened. We watched the whole game, but in the end, it's so important to get game one of a series. You got a 4-game series here with the Brewers. Get game one after yesterday's loss in Anaheim. Pretty good road trip. You go 500 on the road. You go to New York, Philly, Anaheim, and then to get this game tonight. So a lot of credit to the players coming out, playing hard and playing the right way. And there were some weird plays and stuff happened, but in the end, it's a W.
My other takeaway from tonight, one of my favorite things about tonight is Yaz got caught stealing and Chapman got caught stealing. And you're like, what are you talking about?
Right.
I'm so sick of the last 2 years watching station-to-station baseball and 5 hits to score 1 run. And the fact that they're being aggressive this year and they're running, I'd rather see them steal and get thrown out than not steal at all.
On the road trip, I was watching the game and I was listening to you and the guys on the radio, and I can't remember the exact situation, but Bailey was on second. Someone was on, and they double steal with Bailey on second.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome. Send them. Let's go. Put guys in motion. Let's make things happen. Put the ball in play. It's amazing when you put guys in motion and you put the ball in play, defensively on the infield, you see guys go and your mind just gets warped and you start looking at different things and the ball's put in play and now you're not sure where to go with it. And just do it. Just, play aggressive and go for broke.
Last year, the Giants went into Milwaukee, and I was lucky enough to be there and watch the Brewers play. And we left that series, and I said, this is a baseball team. Like, they butt guys over.
The Brewers.
They play great defense, the Brewers.
Yes.
They do the little things on offense. They pitch it. They play catch. They put pressure on you on the bases. They put pressure on you constantly. And I thought to myself, and was talking to a few of the Giants coaches, that a team like that in Oracle Park for 81 games would win a lot of baseball games.
Yep.
You're not going to slug here, dude. This is not a park where you're going to win 10-8 every night. This isn't Cincinnati or Denver or a place to just slug. So when you play in a ballpark that's conducive to pitching and defense, if you do those things, now all of a sudden look around, and the Giants are a lot like the Brewers, maybe with a little more pop, but they're playing the same type of baseball. They're putting pressure on you on the bases. They're bunting guys over. They're, like you said, Patrick Bailey might have been a hit and run or it might have been a straight steal. I'm not sure. But either way, who cares?
Send them.
They're doing something.
Yeah. And I think when you watch games, and I always told, and the little things add up to big things. When you start doing the little things right over and over, they start adding up to big things. And it's the little things like getting guys over, giving a guy another pitch at the plate, and boom, Wilmer hits a home run. Like just little things add up to big things. And but the brand of baseball is good. It's good. And there's an energy in the park. I was out. I came to the park tonight, and for some reason, I just hung out by the front of the ballpark by the 24 palm trees.
Were you scalping tickets?
I wanted to, but
I
I was there and like nobody recognized me, and I was just
probably pissed about that, weren't you?
No, I wasn't. I just
six
took
gold
in
gloves, 6 gold gloves here.
Here we
Anybody
go.
know me? 6 gold gloves.
I just took in the atmosphere, and like the people are so excited, and there's an energy, and they're fired up about, and it hasn't even hit the summer yet. We know baseball's a summer sport, and when the kids and the parents, the kids get out of school, they're going to come to the ballpark tonight on a Monday night. Kids are in school, not a big crowd, but there still was a big crowd tonight. You get in the summer, if you can keep this going, there's going to be an energy and a vibe around this ballpark that we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Anyway, KNBR is the number. If you're driving home from the game, JT Snow, FP, we're in the bunker. Just chilling. Giants win 5-2. They go to 15-8 on the year. It's been fun watching this team play. We got to talk about Jung-Hoo Lee for a little bit. I know we just did, and you said you thought he was the best player on the team. I've gone on record saying that. And that's no offense to Matt Chapman or Willie Adames or Mike Yastrzemski or anybody else, Patrick Bailey, Wilmer Flores, or any of the pitchers. But there's just something about this guy that's so likable.
Yeah.
Like, there's something cool about a likable superstar. Steph Curry comes to mind, the first guy, right? He's a rock star, but he's likable. He's humble. But Jung-Hoo Lee is like, we're watching. When's the last time the Giants had like a rock star, somebody that like we're all going crazy over?
Yeah, and I think it's cool. Like he takes a swing at the plate and his helmet flies off, right? And that, like people love that. They're like, oh my god, he's got the bandana on, his helmet flies off. He's swinging it, and I was in spring training, and after 2 days.
What made you say that?
a bunch of the coaches and some of the front office people came up and said, "Hey, who do you like in camp?" And I said, Jung Hoo Lee. And because I just watched him. I watched him the way he stretched. I watched him the way he did his, took his fly balls, watched him in the cage, watched him in the games. Because when I went down there, they played game 1 the first day I was down there. And some players are great hitters. Some players are great fielders. Some players are great base runners. But if you're a little bit of all that and you just understand the game and you know what's going on, you're never out of position, you put the ball in play, and you can tell, like, this guy's a baseball player. It's like in any sport. This guy's a football player. This guy's a basketball player. In Jung Hoo's he's a baseball player, and he just has all the facets of the game. But I think it's cool when he because he'll let it go and he'll swing hard and his helmet will fly off. And I saw it tonight at the game. Like, people love that.
The triple too. His helmet flew off.
Yeah,
flying around. I mean, I watched the ball go in the gap because I was up high, and then as soon as the ball went in the gap, I just watched him run.
Yeah.
And his stride, long strider, flying around the bases.
He reminded me, like, when I was playing first base, and the two fastest guys I ever saw on a baseball field were Ichiro and Deion Sanders. And both guys, I saw them in spring training hit balls in the gap, and I watched them. I was at first, and I came in. I watched them hit first base and run, and it was like their feet don't touch the ground, and they're so quiet, right? The rest of us were like running, and like our feet are heavy, and we're struggling. These guys just glide, and like Jung Hoo, when he gets it going, he just glides, and it's like he just runs. He cuts the bases well. Like, you watch the way he cuts the bases.
What do you mean by cuts the bases?
Cuts the bases, like the way he makes a turn at first and hits the inside of the bag. And so now he's running a straight line to second, and then you'll bow out a little bit and hit the inside of the bag with your outside foot, your right foot, and now you're on to third base. He just does the little things right, and it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch a really good baseball player play the game day in and day out.
Is it because maybe we don't see complete players like we used to, at the risk of sounding old? Because, I mean, you see Mookie Betts. He comes to mind as a complete player.
Yep.
Freddie Freeman, he can run the bases. People don't even think of Freddie Freeman running the bases. He's a great base runner. But the complete player, like Juan Soto's a great hitter. Like, he rakes.
Yep.
Great knowledge of the strike zone. I would say I'd put him up there with Barry as far as, like, knowing balls and strikes. The only thing is he takes a lot of pitches that Barry would crush for home runs. But yeah, he's an okay outfielder. He's an okay base runner. But I'm just talking about the complete baseball player, because you don't get paid for running the bases. You don't get paid for playing clean defense. You don't get paid for bunting guys over. You don't get paid for moving runners. You get paid for hitting home runs and OPS and driving runs in.
I think it's coming back around. And I think the Giants have those players. Like, my dad always told me when I was a kid, who would you pay to go watch play? That's the ultimate respect. Like, who would you go pay your money to go watch a guy play? I don't care whatever sport, football, basketball. I'm gonna pay my money to buy a ticket to watch this guy play. And the Giants have a bunch of those guys. Matt Chapman, I would buy a ticket to go watch Matt Chapman play baseball. I would buy a ticket to watch Jung Hoo Lee. You know, I'd buy a ticket. Adames is going to come around, but the Giants have some players that I'm going to go pay my money and buy a ticket and watch this team play. And I think that's the most important thing. Just complete players. And we're all not going to have it going on a certain night or for a week or whatever, but over and over again, that's the great thing about baseball is it's day in, day out. And you watch somebody play over the course of a season, and like, this guy is a baseball player.
Those are good points, man. And yeah, I think if I'm a Giants fan, I'm buying tickets to watch this team play. Like, my biggest frustration the last few years was if I drove from Sacramento to watch the Giants play and my favorite player got pinch hit for in the fourth inning, how am I going to go buy a jersey and fall in love with this player? And how is that player going to fall in love with the team himself?
Or you didn't know who's starting that night. But now, like, you know, I'll buy a ticket to watch Justin Verlander pitch. I'll buy a ticket to watch Logan Webb pitch. Even Robbie Ray. You know who's pitching that night. That's a great thing about baseball. That's like the old school, like, this guy's pitching tonight. I'm going to go to the game. I want to see him deal. And, like, that's part of the game that a lot of it's offense and defense, but it all starts on the mound. And, like, when you have guys that take the ball every night and are going to go out there and give you everything they got, the Giants have those guys. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna buy a ticket. I'm gonna go watch Logan Webb pitch tonight. I mean, the game the other night in Anaheim was unbelievable. 12 strikeouts, and I'm gonna watch Justin Verlander pitch. He hasn't got a win yet, but he's gonna compete. He's gonna keep our team in the game. He's gonna hang in there and just try and battle and just give us a chance to get a win.
I love it. We're both full of crap right now for everybody listening. We wouldn't pay for tickets to see anybody play.
Nobody, yeah.
We don't pay for tickets. We're cheap. Let's go to Josh from Orlando. Josh, you want to talk about Landon Roop and Hayden Birdsong. What's going on?
Hey, good to be on again. I wanted to tell you the Giants came into spring training. They were looking at those two young pitchers. And these two young pitchers are showing the Giants, we want to be on this team for the long haul, and we're not going anywhere. What's your take on that?
Well, I'll go first because I was just talking about this today. I think sometimes for a young pitcher, it's hard to wrap your head around being a bullpen guy when you've been a starter. But when you're breaking into the league, you just want to contribute anyway. And when you got a good clubhouse environment and you're in a winning environment and you get off to the start the Giants were, you just want to be in the big leagues. You want to be a part of it. So I hats off to Hayden Birdsong, who, I mean, could be a frontline starter for a lot of teams in the big leagues right now, but he knows that there's not a spot for him. But he's just happy to be here and happy to be a part of it, a team guy. He's enjoying, it looks like he's enjoying being a reliever for now, but those days are numbered. This guy's going to be a starting pitcher for a long time.
Yeah, and all the guys, every pitcher in the big leagues, guys starting in the bullpen, they were starters their whole career back in Little League and high school and college, minor leagues. And then you work your way to the bullpen. But I think it's a credit to some of the veteran guys. Maybe a guy like Birdsong has talked to Verlander, and Verlander's been like, hey, just buy your time. It's okay. You got the stuff. You're going to be a starter. And in baseball and in all sports, you're drafted where you are. You're drafted to an organization. You have to go through the process and do what they tell you. But I think in time, you can't hide someone that's got skills, and it'll come out. And so I credit Birdsong, and Roop was in spring training, and he threw the first game in Texas in Surprise, and I was like, this guy can pitch, like off speed, slider, curveball. So a credit to those guys, but trust me, there's veteran guys, and Logan Webb's a veteran now, and Verlander and Robbie Ray, they're in their ears and just saying, hang in there, kid. We've all been through that. You're going to get your chance. And when you get your chance in any sport, then you got to produce and you got to shine. And it'll work out in the end. Everybody's time comes at a different point in their career. But when it comes, then you show up and you put up the numbers and you deal. So.
You get lucky. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Let's go to Peter from Pacifica. Peter, you want to talk Jordan Hicks? What's going on?
I was Jordan Hicks. He gives up 5 runs in the first inning. He gets emotional the whole game, but he stays in there. 2 umpires have to come out to calm him down, but he stays in there. And the Giants, they fought back, only got 3 runs back. But Jordan Hicks, he showed me passion for the game of baseball.
Yeah, Peter, we're going back a few games, but I agree with you. I liked everything I saw except for the first day. It's almost like the Phillies knew it was coming the first day. It was like the exit velocity is like 105, 104, 102. They were the cheapie in the bunch. They were hitting missiles all over the campsite. But I like a little edge in my game. I want my pitcher to yell at an umpire, scream at the other. I hate lovey-dovey baseball where everybody's friends on Instagram and Twitter and they're all hugging when they run sprints. I like a little chippy in my baseball.
And you got to remember, Hicks was a reliever and now he's a starter. So he's got a little, he's got a little chip on his shoulder. He wants to prove everybody that he can start because he was a good reliever and now he's a starter. But once again, I saw him in spring training, his first start, and I was in the dugout and his fastball made a different sound to the plate. It had a zoom to it. I'm like, this guy's got it. And now it's just a matter of like refining it and trusting yourself and listen to the coaches, getting a scouting report and just going out and pitching to your strengths. But we saw the competitiveness. Like you love that in a player. Like I want a player to get in an umpire's face. I want him to challenge it. He's got good stuff. Like I hope I hope it works out for him because he can, once again, he might be the wild card on that whole pitching staff because he might find, and everybody finds it at a different point in the season. Some guys get off to hot starts. Some guys get slow. Some guys get hot in the middle of the season. Some guys are warm weather players. Everybody comes together at the end of the year. He's one of those guys that just keep your eye on. If he keeps going, he's got the stuff to make a difference.
Dude, I like that he kind of has a screw loose.
Totally.
Can you imagine facing a guy that throws 100 that has a screw loose?
Yeah.
And you're just like, this guy's, he can get pissed. Like, heads up.
Randy Johnson?
Yeah. That's an intimidation factor.
Right.
He was either yelling at Alec Boehm or JT Realmuto. I don't know what it was about. He said, just keep talking, keep talking. You could read his lips. I don't know what they were talking about. Maybe they were chirping at him. And then Phil Cuzzy, who always finds drama every time he umps a game, just loves the drama at home plate, has a floating strike zone, and for years it seems like he haunts the Giants in Giants games. I remember I was filling in for Mike one game, and I think it was 2010. It was Travis Ishikawa on a play at the plate, and Phil Cuzzy blew the call toward the end of the game, and we were going nuts, and we showed the replays, and he was wrong. It just seems like that guy he's always in the mid. There's certain umpires that are just always in the middle of something. The drama finds them. Is it because they're bad? Is it just because it's the ump show? Like, what is it?
If you're a good ump or an NBA ref or an NFL, like, people don't notice you. They don't notice good players. But when you're kind of edgy and like in the middle of it, it shows up.
It was Cuzzy, Randazzo, and Bellino.
Angel Hernandez.
It was Cuzzy, Randazzo, Bellino, 3 Italians on the crew. So just figure out.
Too much pasta for lunch.
Come to your own conclusion. Let's go to Reed. I can say that. Let's go to Reed from Bend. He wants to know if Buster Posey would ever trade Bryce Eldridge. Reed, you there?
Hey guys, how's it going? Good to talk to you.
Yeah, thanks for calling, Reed.
Bend, Oregon.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so I wanted to hear your guys' perspective. I've appreciated Posey's steadiness with the roster, but I wanted to know what you guys would think. You know, if Eldridge gets off to some type of hot start, if he would make a call up early, if Wade and obviously Schmidt being on the IL right now, you know, do you think he would call up Eldridge earlier, or if he's just going to stay being, you know, a September late season call up?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. He had the wrist, little tendonitis in the wrist, but when you look at it, it's kind of the right mix. If you're in the minor leagues and the guys up ahead of you, because trust me, the guys in the minor leagues are paying attention to what's going on up above, and if guys aren't having good years, but if he gets off to a great start and he's doing well, I think you want to see that great start, but then you want to give him a little time to kind of prove that and stabilize. And then if he does, I don't think there's any rush with Bryce Eldridge. I think you don't want to disrupt what the team's doing now. They obviously can get some more production at some certain places, but he's on their radar and they know about him, and they want to see him prove it over.
The umps just walked by the way.
Oh,
the whole crew just walked by. Hey,
what's up, Blue?
You guys listen to us talking about umps? You guys did great tonight. Do a good job tomorrow too. Thanks.
Did they just?
That was Jim Wolf and the whole crew.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
They didn't wave at us. They just
they flipped us off.
They sent us
they gave us the bird.
They told us we're number one. But anyways, like, Eldridge is on the radar, and so he's an interesting guy. Let's give him time. Let's get the wrist better. I think the main thing too is like defensively. See if he's proven it defensively. You don't want to bring him up here in front of 40,000 people and have him struggle. So he's 20 years old. Give him time. Let him develop. And I think the main thing with him is just like, let him put up numbers offensively. Let him hit homers. Let him drive in runs. Let him get confident.
But let
see what happens.
But let him do that.
Right,
I think
exactly.
A lot of times when you have a prospect in any organization, there's this tendency with, and I don't know what's going on. This is just a general statement. I don't know if this is true with him, that there's too many people coaching him because they're so excited to get him to the big leagues because he's our number one prospect and we got to make him great at this and make him great at this. You got part of developing is learning how to fail and to see if you can fail. And when you got like 18 coaches or 18 people trying to pick you up every time you fail or teach you this, teach you that, all of a sudden you just get scrambled eggs in your head and you don't develop it. It retards the development of the player. If I remember this with Trey Turner when he was a rookie and I've told this story on the air before with the Nationals. He was making base running mistakes all over the place, and I would go up to the coaches in BP. I'm like, Dad, you coach him up? Like, he's like, no, we're just letting him be.
Yeah.
Because if you overcoach a kid with talent, you take away from his athleticism.
Right.
So if it's me, and what do? I'm just a dork in a bunker talking about baseball. Like, you just got to let him go.
Yeah.
Just let him go and let him figure it out himself.
And I think, and the other point to that is when you have a prospect and you have a little, a gem, like a piece of gold, and everybody wants to take credit for it. And
Right.
everybody wants to be like, oh,
Right.
I taught him how. And I worked with him in spring training at first base. Like, I don't care. I gave him my input. I walked with him. I worked with him. I let him come to me, and I let us develop a relationship. And when he messed up, I'm like, it's okay. You can work on that. But there's a lot of coaches that want to take the credit, but you're also right. You got to let a guy when he's got talent. Let's let him go out there and let him.
You're talking in general.
Yeah. Like in general, but make him, let him make mistakes. And then, you know how it is, FP. Like, I hated a coach when you made a mistake and you came back in the next inning and then they're in your face and like, hey, that ball's supposed to go. And you're like, yeah, give me a second to. The good coaches let it go for an inning or two, and then maybe after the game they come up to you like, hey, in the second inning, that ball was hit. Maybe I'm like, yeah, I could have gone to second. I could have turned the double play. I fumbled it, whatever. But yeah, just let them develop and build a relationship with them. And so that the best thing, and I've had coaches like this, and you build a trust with them, and so then you want the player to go back to the coach and talk to him instead of the coach always being in your face and trying to coach. That doesn't work. Like, let the player. It's like raising kids. Like, your kids are going to make mistakes. Let your kids come to you. Hey, I screwed up. Whatever. Hey, we'll do it better next time. So there's a relationship that goes into it with when you have a top player and a guy that everyone's expecting to do great things.
Yeah.
Just let them develop and let them go.
All right, 808 KNBR's number. To take a quick break, Danny, and then we're going to come back. JT's got a great story about Tim Lincecum and Madison Bumgarner. You won't want to miss this. Coming up next on the Sports Leader.
Giants fans, this is your hub to have your voice heard. Sports Phone KNBR. Streaming live on YouTube at KNBR 1045.
FP and JT in the bunker. 808 KNBR is the number. Giants win 5-2. They go to 15-8 in the season. A little rundown of the game for you real quick if you're just tuning in. They get Giants 5 runs on 8 hits, no errors. Milwaukee 2 runs on 6 hits, 1 error. Yaz went 1 for 2. Willie Adames went 0 for 4. He scored a run, though. My favorite part about Willie Adames tonight is when Patrick Bailey hit the short sack fly, I think in the 8th inning. He was out of the dugout and the first guy to congratulate everybody on a sack fly where, just little things like that. It's not about me going 0 for 4. It's about us winning 5-2, so that shows you a lot. Jung-Hoo Lee 1 for 4 with a triple. He drove in a run. Matt Chapman 0 for 3 tonight. He did walk. Elliot Ramos 0 for 4. His average is down to 221. Lamont Wade Jr. with a knock, a broken bat single. Maybe that's the one that gets him going. We'll see. Wilmer Flores 2 for 3. That was the funny part too. Wilmer hit the home run, his 7th of the year. He's got 24 driven in, but then he hit a long single down the right field line, and Willie Adames in the corner of the dugout was laughing about how Wilmer scrambled back to first base.
Slipped and
he kind of turned around, and they were laughing. So I mean. I don't know. When I was 0 for 4, I wasn't yucking it up like Willie, and it just shows you that the guy's always in a good mood.
He's a good teammate, and the other part of this FP is like the bullpen, right? 4 innings, 1 hit. Birdsong throws 3 innings, gives up a hit. Duvall 1 inning, no hits. So 4 innings, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, 1 hit. I don't know. It just we know how it is. The game starts on the mound. Like when you got guys throwing strikes and aggressive and going after hitters. And the thing is, we played here, and when other teams come in here, like the Brewers, and then the Giants are going to have the Rangers, and they're going to have some teams coming in here, teams do not like to hit here. And the Giants know what it's all about. And I'm sure, Willie's getting used to it, and Chapman's been here for a year, and Ramos. Other teams, they do not like to hit here, and it's a big advantage. So it's an advantage for the pitchers to just get aggressive and just go after guys. Like, here you go, your right-handed hitter, I'm going to throw it up and away, hit it as far as you want. It's going to be an out. Yeah, I was going to catch it. Jung-Hoo's going to catch it. Oh, I'm going to throw you up and in, hit it to left center. It's going to be an out. That's the thing to watch. So the pitching is always huge here.
Patrick Bailey 1 for 3 of the sack fly. I was just talking about Fitzgerald 2 for 3 with a couple of infield singles, which is great. And the thing I like most, and maybe the sneaky best thing about tonight, is Camilo Duvall coming in to get the save. but just a 1-2-3 save. And if you're the Giants and you're playing all these close games, you have to have more than one closer.
Yep.
You can't just have Ryan Walker every night, because you're going to be 3-2, 4-3, 2-1 every night. You're not going to slug. You might need 3 closers. You might need Tyler Rogers every once in a while to save a game for you, just because you're going to be in so many close games. So a lot of good things happen at the ballpark tonight. Where's the attendance? It's down here. 31,758 on Monday night. Electric crowd. Jung-Hoo Lee had everybody going with the triple. It was a fun atmosphere. Everybody's into the Giants. We're all in on this team. It just feels right. Everything feels right about this team. Even after a tough loss, they leave it in L.A., they leave it in the clubhouse. They're Anaheim, wherever the hell they played. And the Los Angeles Angels.
Los Angeles Angels of California, Southern California, Anaheim.
The Sacramento A's of Las Vegas. Same kind of thing. So, it's just a feel-good night. JT and FP in the bunker. So we're talking about, if you're just joining us, we're talking about a 10-day road trip. You're getting back to the ballpark. You're away. Sometimes, you get home and your dog doesn't even know who you are after a 10-day road trip. They growl at you when you walk in the house, like, who is this stranger? You end up disrupting the flow. Your wife and the kids, and they're going to school and they're packing lunches, and who's this stranger in our house all of a sudden? You screw everything up, the rhythm, when you come home, and you're the bad guy all of a sudden.
Why is he sleeping in till 9 a.m. or 10 a.m.?
Oh, no, they're waking you up at 7. You're like, I got a game today. Leave me alone. So we're talking about the suitcases and how, it stinks after 10 days. You get some of your workout clothes, some of your skivvies are in there. It's just not a good thing when you get done with a 10-day road trip. But we were in the first commercial break, and JT's telling me the story about Tim Lincecum and Madison Bumgarner that may be old knowledge. I don't know about it, but it has to do with suitcases from the ballpark to their place.
Yeah, because when you get back into town, you got to come to the ballpark. There's 2 buses, and you got to wait at the ballpark. It's midnight, 1 a.m. You're waiting for your luggage to come off. Some people just let the luggage go to the clubhouse and get it the next day. But I was traveling with the team one time, and
what year is this?
I think it's 10 or 12. And then Lincecum missed a start, and I was doing some broadcasting, and they're like, "What happened?" And I knew the story. And Madison Bumgarner was pulling Lincecum around on his luggage, around in the parking lot, and it went down the curb, and Timmy fell off. And
wait, he was riding the luggage?
He was riding the luggage. And they're like, we all get stupid, right? It's late at night. We might have had a few beverages on the plane, and he missed a start. And then I was doing the pre and post, and they're like, hey, Lincecum's on. You know what's up? I'm like, I don't know what's up. I don't know what happened. I actually saw what happened. And I think Timmy fell off his luggage. He's... Bum's pulling around the parking lot in his luggage. They go down the curb, boom, maybe a hip or a oblique, or so I don't know. We're all weirdos, and we do stupid stuff late at night. But yeah, the 10-game road trips are hard, and we were talking about it, and it's like 10 games. You take 5 pairs of whatever, and you turn them inside out the next day, and just get through it. So. You went to New York and Philly, and that's 2 pretty good towns.
Yeah, it was a good town. And when you talk, we all wanted a 6-4 road trip.
Yeah.
We were all frustrated. I talked to Zach before the game today, and he was still wearing yesterday's game the dugout during batting practice today because he cares so much about this ball club. Zach Manassian, the GM for the Giants. And, you go on the road, you go to Yankee Stadium. It's a tough place to play. It's a tough place to win. They take 2 out of 3 there. You go to Philadelphia, that lineup just keeps coming at you. They had the best home record in all of baseball last year.
And you're battling the fans, right? The East Coast, they're not easy.
That's a good point.
It's like every time you go on deck and some guy's just wearing you out in New York, in Philly, you're like, oh, God, can we just be over? Let's get back to California.
It's not nice rags either.
It's bad.
Sometimes
they know all about your family. They know your wife's name, your kid's name, your parents' name, where you live. It's bad. It's not easy.
I remember at Old Shea Stadium once, a kid, maybe 12.
Yep.
FP, can I have your autograph? And he's bugging me, so I run over there. He's got my card. I sign it. He goes, thanks, you still suck. After I signed it.
Right.
Just a typical Mets fan, a typical New York fan. My favorite one, and I've said this on the air before, and I probably told you a million times, so forgive me for repeating myself, is I was playing right field in Wrigley, and they were getting on me, but it was funny.
Yeah.
Have you ever had people rag on you? They're like, Santangelo, you're so short, I can see your feet in your driver's license picture. And I turned around and I just tipped my cap and I started playing with him, and it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
And then there's something about your wife left her shoes under my bed, and it's just like he got somebody with. He was hilarious.
That's a thing the fans don't know is like when you go on deck and stuff. And in Philly, guy was on me for 3 days. Oh, you're never as good as your dad. And then someone else like, even your mom. And I'm like, I turn around, it's like, my mom never played professional sports. Then they laughed, and some guy was like, we pay your salary. And I turned around, I said, I take my kid to McDonald's and get him a Happy Meal. I pay your salary too. And then the whole crowd laughed. And so it's like funny, like you gotta, they like it if you fire back, because then you look like a real person. And so, yeah, it's good. But those fans, Boston, New York, Philly, hard.
You know, we mentioned Lamont Wade Jr. and you're a former first baseman. I want to get into this a little bit before we go. We got about 10 minutes left in the show, if that. We've both gotten off to slow starts. My very best year in baseball, I started 1 for 25, and I ended up at 280. It sucks as a major leaguer on the biggest stage. I don't care who you are, to look up at the scoreboard and see 89. Lamont Wade Jr.'s had some hard outs. It's not like he's just an easy out right now. I mean, he's had some bad at bats. He struck out a lot. I'm not sitting here trying to say it's all roses. But did you ever have a bad year where all of a sudden, a bad start, I should say, where it turned into a good year, where somebody like you could go up to him and say, hey, my best year ever, I hit 100 in April?
My first year with the Giants in 97, I didn't hit my first home run until Mother's Day, which is in May. And I ended up with 28 homers that year. So I hit 27 homers in 4.5 months. And it's hard. And it just... It builds, and we're humans, and I guarantee you, and if you've ever met, I spent some time in spring training with Lamont Wade. He's won the Willie Mack Award, and he's a great guy, and he cares, and he tries, and he wants to, and it's hard when you know how to, you take it home at night with you, and if you have kids or whatever, wife, it's hard, and you think about it all night, and you go to sleep, and you wake up in the morning, and you're trying. So I think that's the cool thing that, kind of Buster's done with bringing the guys in spring training, is just to talk to the guys. And I had somebody in spring training, I don't know who it was. It might have been Fitzgerald or Patrick Bailey, one of the young guys. And they're like, hey, did you ever struggle? And I'm like, every day was a struggle, bud. Every day is a struggle. Like, you got to show up and you got to play with a chip on your shoulder, and you got to prove yourself every day. You can't take any days off. And we talked about this before, the one spring training, Dusty comes up to me and he goes, hey, you and Jason Giambi are leading the Cactus League in hitting, 428. And then that year I'm hitting 150 after April. And it's like kind of like the Chapman thing, like you're hot. And then baseball's a game of averages, and players know that, right? I'm hot. And we always used to say we'd play catch every day, like stay cold.
We don't jinx it.
And we'd play right-handed, play opposite hand, switch it up. It's hard. Baseball's hard. And the guys care, and they're trying to prove themselves. They all want to put up numbers. They know what they're capable of. And something will happen where it just clicks. And then you almost like, you kind of like don't care. I'm just going to go play. And then it falls in line.
Yeah, you stop caring so much. Right. You stop worrying so much. I sent out a tweet. It was just, I was getting all the feels on Easter yesterday, and I was just thinking about things, and I've been through some struggles myself as a player and just as a person in general. And I know what Lamont Wade Jr. is going through. And I put out a tweet that got a lot of response about how I thought it'd be cool if the Giants fans gave him a standing ovation, like Trey Turner, that got him going in Philadelphia. In some of the tweets back, and I know Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it's a real bitter social media platform, but Lamont Wade Jr. has been a good Giant.
Yep.
Whatever happens, whether he gets going or not, is all out of our control. But I just think like a good Giant fan's going to support this guy. And there was so much to get rid of him, send him down, some just really negative, foul tweets.
Yeah.
And maybe my tweet was a little cringy. Like, I'll admit that, because I was having a day where I felt a kind of compassion and empathy for what he was going through. And I thought it'd be cool if the fans got behind him. But I don't know if you haven't watched it, because we talked about it, but you need to. This Boston Red Sox documentary on Netflix. They mic up the team. It's like Hard Knocks, but it's the Red Sox.
Yeah.
it's done so well. They mic the guys up in the on deck circle. They mic the guys up when they're running, and it's an inside look to how much we care about baseball, how much we love what we do, and how hard it is on us from a mental health standpoint. And you say, oh, well, you're making $20 million a year, whatever it is. Money doesn't solve that problem. So if you're struggling as a player like he is right now, and if you watch this documentary, Jaron Duran, he's so hard on himself. He's like, you stupid SOB, why did you swing at that pitch? You suck, I suck so bad, right? And they're talking to them, so like negative self-talk. And there's a couple of guys that are just, you dumbass, why'd you swing at that curveball and hit a ground ball? You're better than that, let's go. And they're saying this to themselves, and I think it's just a good insight for fans to witness and see how much we really care as players and how we take it home, like you said, and how we have sleepless nights, and there's anxiety, and there's mental health issues. And I'm not sitting here like cry a river, but like when people say you make $5 million a year, like toughen up, bro, get some hits. Well, you're right. You're right. But we're normal people, and we care, and we wear this. There's so much immense pressure to perform, and immense pressure for an organization to win baseball games. And it's the highest level. It's the best players in the world. And when you fail, it's the worst place to fail.
Yeah, and the couple things I'll say about that is I've never seen a really good players get paid on what they've done and what the organization thinks they can do. So it's all deserved. Like, I've never seen a crappy player get a huge contract. Like, they know what you can do. But then as a player, everyone's different, and some guys don't care. Some guys care too much. Some guys take it home with them. Some guys don't. And it's really hard, and everyone's different. I think when you get down to the bottom and the root, and I think this is where good coaching comes in, good leadership, is just letting the players know what they can do and what's expected of them, and because we played. I always tell people 99.9% of boys have played Little League Baseball. Everybody plays Little League Baseball, from T-ball, whatever. People stop playing, keep going on. And then when you make it and you start climbing the ladder, then you get to the top, and it's like, wow, I got this chance. And it's not about getting a contract. It's not about the money. It's about, I want to be a good player, and I want to do well from all my parents took me to travel games and tournaments and this and that and high school, and you get that chance, and you want to stick around. You want to play. I remember when I got into A-ball, and the guy asked me, what do you want out of your career? I'm like, I would love to get in the big leagues and stick around for a while. And so that pressure you feel, and so when you get off to a bad start or you're not playing well, you feel it. And everybody handles it differently, and some guys come out of it quicker, some guys it takes longer. It's just your personality and who you are. It's hard. It's not easy. But when you could be in another job and not have a good year, or not have a good 2 years, but then maybe you have another good year after that, or another. But in baseball, it's like, well, you cast off. And we've been there. I've been sent back to the minor leagues. I was in the big leagues. Got sent back to the minor leagues. Got to go back and prove yourself, and you're back in AAA carrying your bags and riding buses and taking 6 a.m. flights. But if it's important to you, like, it's what we've done our whole life. And we want to, at the end, I want to be a big leaguer. I want to have a career.
And you want to win. You
want to win. You want to be a good teammate. The money thing, like, I never cared about. You don't care about that. Like, that, all that stuff will come. But it's just, there's a lot, like you said, and I need to watch that documentary. And I heard the Durant thing, and he's a SoCal guy, Long Beach State, and I know his story, so I need to watch that. But it's just like, it's like a pinnacle, it's like a volcano just coming to the top, and how you're going to handle it and how you're going to deal with it, and you don't want to let it slip away and get away from you.
No, you don't. And the Giants didn't let it slip away and get away from them tonight. They win 5-2. They go to 15-8 on the year. JT, good job, man. It was fun to do the show. Nice quick show tonight. Be back tomorrow night after the game from the bunker. Thanks for all the calls tonight. Danny at the home base, good job, buddy. I appreciate you texting me all the callers. We had fun tonight in the bunker. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And like I say on the way out, every single night, swing hard in case you hit it on the Sports Leader.